we live?
We're live.
Oh,
Sorry
hello.
for the delay, everyone. We had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, just a little bit of technical difficulties, but we
got it figured
we got
out.
it figured, and we found somebody along the way, Daisy. So we dragged Daisy with us. So it's Val. I'm Roy, if you're not sure, and we're going to talk about spinners today. So I'm going without a mic because we only have 2 mics and we have 3 people. So if you have a hard time hearing me, let me know. I can talk louder or I can shout into Val's mic, which is what she's trying to get me to do. So
we're having fun.
But yeah, hopefully we're going to have some fun. So we're going to show you guys how to make some spinners. I know we were looking at these. We had some customers ask about them before, and I know we've had some comments before on the Facebook about these particular things. So we thought we would just make some and then show you how we did it.
Oh, I jiggle.
I mean, if you're online or Pinterest, you'll see like a ton of them, right? I mean, there's a lot of different ones out there, different kind of designs. We've kind of just settled on these just because we like the like the style, and it was pretty easy. These are made up of just a bunch of 3-inch squares, and so what you do in that 3-inch square is totally up to you. You'll see that Val and Daisy made these, and they did slightly different designs in them.
But this design is real achievable, and you could mix it up. I mean, basically, we're talking 3-inch squares, So
yeah.
However you choose to build your 3-inch squares, you're just going to need 6 of them. And then I think they just kind of go together so interestingly in the shape. I really do like the shape.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can make them bigger or smaller, right? We talked about that too, but we sort of like the size of these 3-inch ones, right? They're not too super huge. And
we did add the pattern that Daisy did for this one to our website. So I will be sure to put that link in the comment section below. So check back for that.
That was nice.
Mm-hmm. Nice of you. I
Good
do.
job. Yeah.
I could do that if anyone's really interested in mine. I could.
Yeah. So.
I could get it.
love that.
I could get it to you, Kaylee.
Perfect.
I can draw squares.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you only get paid for your patterns, and we're not gonna.
No, I was not going to say
You
that.
can Venmo Val, right? Just kidding. So,
Just kidding.
We thought we'd show you how we made them, and there's obviously a few different ways of doing it, but we. I lost my train of thought.
Well, do you want to talk about
I looked at the
cane?
Yeah, let's show
or
the
you
cane.
want?
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so these are done in the copper foil method. You can see we have some copper foil laying around to kind of remind us of that. But Daisy and Val both used a cane to go around the outside edge. So
right, and
one of you want to jump in?
And we use this little notcher, which this one's been around a long time, right? We used this so long ago. We used to do a lot of candle cubes with it,
Picture frames.
Yeah,
picture frames
right.
are great.
So really what it is it just allows you to notch out this cane. So in Daisy's and mine, we actually have this metal cane around each of the 3-inch squares. So it makes a really nice finished look. So mine, I use the copper, and then I use the copper patina to turn my silver solder copper. And then Daisy used black, so she's used the patina to turn hers black. But so it comes, so you can get it in zinc or you can get it in copper, and we used to carry it in brass. I don't know if we do anymore, not 1/8 inch. It's an 1/8 inch size is what we've been using. So we just thought we'd show you really quick. Roy's going to put together one in a minute, and it doesn't have cane around it. It's just solder, which is also another way you can do it. But this really goes together nicely. I mean, so yeah, Daisy's going to show you. It fits in a channel, and then you have marked it where you need to do it, and it takes out V's on both sides, upside down V's, and then it just turns. So it really, learning to mark it and then cutting it really works well. So I did this one the other day, and so I just was going to show you. So you do one side. I do one side and mark it. Is that how you do it? Okay. Yeah. Instead of trying to measure it out.
Yeah.
I do one side.
Mark each spot.
Yeah. Then I put a black line, and then I center that in this little V. I center my line right inside there, and then when I notch it, it does the X, upside down V, and then it goes that way. Then I would measure this one, put it there, measure the last one, and it's just boom. It's just all the way around, and then you just
Solder one joint.
tack that joint, And then when you get them all done, it makes it really nice just to kind of tack them together, doesn't it? I mean,
Clean edges.
we really liked it. I liked the way those look. So anyway, and this little matcher. So it's also, like I said, very versatile for, you say, picture frames, the candle, anything you're doing that's, straight edged. It's kind of nice if you want to use cane around it. So
Yeah, I wanted to just make a real quick comment about bevels.
Do you? Okay.
So you guys were
Let's hear it.
talking about like a 3-inch bevel, and I know I use bevel in my little project, and Daisy used a bevel. And so when you purchase them or look for them online, right, they'll say it's a 3-inch square or it's a 1.5-inch square, and sometimes they're not always exactly the size you want. So I like that you guys were saying instead of just measuring it at, like it's 3 inches, and cutting it, they measure each side and then notch it so that way it fits a little bit more accurately that way.
yeah, for sure.
Good call. So,
All right,
Daisy,
so
do you want to
glitter notcher?
So Val used the copper patina on her project, and Daisy used black. And so I don't know how familiar you are with working with the black patina, but in particular working with the zinc. So I don't know if you want to give us any little tips on how you did that, right?
So we don't have one out here, but I used a patina buddy. It's kind of like a steel wool, little scrubby, like curly metal
Is it brass?
thing.
Is that the one that's
I think
made of
so.
brass?
I think so. And I used that on the zinc to try and get it to take literally any
To absorb, because that's the
Yeah.
problem. It rubs off so easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have to have a
So you scratched up the surface.
scratch it up and kind of make sure that it's really clean. And I spent a lot of time trying to do that. So it's just kind of trial and error, get it to work for you.
Yeah.
It's maybe not the most clean looking patina. It's kind of spotty, but I think it.
Oh, I think it looks
adds to
really.
it.
I think it looks really good.
Yeah,
it's a good coverage
yeah.
because sometimes sometimes
Yeah,
that's a
it-
complaint people have about
Yeah.
about not being able to get the black to really color evenly or whatever. And so that I think it's a good job.
Yeah, I thought you did a real nice job.
Copper does the
of it,
same
so.
thing. Sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't do real well either, but.
Yeah, the patinas can be tricky, right? So, but yeah, Daisy did a great job, I thought, with that zinc, and which is, Val was saying, not easy to do. So nice job.
Good job.
Thanks.
Okay.
And then, so what else? Then?
Well, hangers real quick about.
Yeah, let's talk
And
about
then we
the
can,
hangers,
and then we'll go
we
in
can-
and cut yours.
Yeah,
and-
we can talk about how
Okay.
we did some cutting and
And
stuff.
yeah, because then we'll talk about the foil. Then how's that?
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yep. So you can see on Val's, for example. So Val used these.
These little squiggly things.
Did I grab
Scroll
them?
hooks.
Scroll hooks.
Thank you.
They are kind of cute because you can do them. I got them right here in my hand.
I grabbed a bag of them. I grabbed like
Oh, why don't
2
you?
or 3 bags of stuff, and
You didn't,
well, somewhere in.
you didn't make it
As I was
back.
walking around, I must have set them down somewhere. So,
But these are kind of cute because, and they come in bigger sizes too. They come in a couple sizes. So, and you can, like mine, I kind of crisscrossed the top and then soldered the edges, like that. But so I did that intentionally because then I actually soldered it to the frame in 3 spots just to make sure that, it's, because they're not real lightweight, so you want to make sure whatever you're hanging from. But these are different scrolls and they're kind of pre-done, and I think you can use them in different configurations and I just thought they were kind of cute. And then Daisy, what'd you do up here on yours?
I just used some 14 gauge wire, and I made a little loop, and I wanted to kind of make it match my pattern a little bit, so I added that those
Decorative wires
yeah.
stuff. That's cool.
I mean, it I don't know if it gives more strength to it or not, but
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, it really could, and it's really
it gives another
neat.
point that
Yeah.
it's pulling from, so
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
really not going to
Really nice.
come off of there. So
Yeah, I wish I had some samples to show you because I grabbed all the wire too. So, sorry. So, but we sell the pre-tinned. So that just means that it's copper wire that already has tin on it, so it's silver in color, right? And we sell that in a couple different sizes. So depending on a nice big 1 pound container or something that's only like 4 ounces. But the advantage is you can bend it or make it however you want it to look. But yeah, Daisy did a really nice job with hanging that. That's for sure. And then the other thing that we're using on Daisy's is, I don't know if you can see this very well, but this little connector here is a swivel, what's called a swivel, which is used, in this situation, it's used in the fishing world. It's something that goes on.
Try to get it to focus here, Stan.
Yeah, so there's a couple here. I don't know if you want to look at them any closer. Again, not something we sell at Delphi but this is another, and then, so the bottom part here swivels, right? And so what's nice is this can just hook to the ring or the loop or whatever you have on there, and hook to the chain. You can do it vice versa. This is the one that we put on Daisy's. It just looks a little bit different, swivel, a little smaller, but it has a ball bearing in there, so this thing just rotates freely without getting caught up on anything. Which is
You get that at the bait store?
Yeah, I got these at the bait store.
All right,
and,
then. There you
the
go.
old fishing store. What I thought was interesting was a lot of times they're brass, which is pretty traditional, like for the fishing industry. But these had this, kind of
Already
nice,
black,
almost,
yeah,
pewter or gunmetal sort of look to them, which I thought was kind of fancy looking for
Kind of fit my
fishing stuff.
my
Yeah, and it fit Daisy.
patina.
Yeah,
Like
for
you
sure.
planned it that way, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and then we also have some other products you can use for hanging. I mean, we're just using chain here, which sometimes looks a little clunky, if you want something a little more delicate. People often use fishing line.
We do sell this
But
one.
this is something that we have here at Delphi.
And it was a 50-pound test?
20 pounds,
20
so
pounds.
yeah. Which, these don't weigh 20
Yeah, no,
pounds.
they're
so.
not 20 pounds.
And then they also come with, I know this one doesn't show up so well, but these are little crimps. So you can just, make a loop, slide the
Yeah, so you
on
do
here,
it like
and then-
this, and then you would have one end cut down here, and then you would slide this up through these, and then once the tube is around your wire, you crimp it.
Yep, just a pair of needle nose pliers.
And
just
then
like
you
just
jewelry.
pinch it.
Yeah, cut this extra off.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're pretty nice, made by Anraku.
yeah, we sell
They're
it.
nice, and they're black, so they're not really all that noticeable.
These are really
Sorry about
nice
the
too
body,
when
but-
people want to do like a mobile or
Oh yeah, for any kind of hanging thing. that you wanna do.
mobile.
Yeah, I think we say
Gondola,
mobile.
gondola.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not?
What did we say?
Mobile.
Mobile.
Yeah, mobile.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to say.
Okay.
Okay, so good.
So I guess we covered the hangers and then how it's doing. I guess somebody needs to probably put one together.
Yeah, put one together,
Is that
and
it?
then and when you put it together, you'll see how it, it really goes together nicely.
Yeah, so nice.
But we
is
have,
that-
yeah,
So I thought, I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll just do one. I can confess that I haven't made one of these, so I'm like, I'll just do it live, right? I'll just put one together live. Why not? What could go wrong? So, as you guys all know, probably many things will probably end up going wrong, but that's all right. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of things. So this is a box maker, and this really comes in handy. So I've already, soldered these panels, right? So these are little 3-inch squares, and to solder the seams, I use the box maker. And what you can actually clip them on there if you want to make it more stable. I just held it and then just kind of tack soldered up along here to hold those together, and that's how I created all 3 of these things. If you're really adventurous and you're looking online, you can probably find there's a few people selling a jig, a fancy jig that's set up just to do these. Not something we have here at Delphi, but we figured we could do it without a jig, right? Without a real
Oh yeah,
serious
heck yes.
jig. The other thing that I used was these things called handy wedges. So I don't know if you are familiar with this product, but really nice. They're made of foam, so pretty light. They sort of almost stick to the work surface, so they don't slide around when you're trying to work with them. And if you drip solder on them, they don't melt or burst into flames. But they were really nice for when I could flip stuff over like this and solder. Like if you're really trying to make this seam look pretty nice, right? It keeps it
You need it
pretty
level
and then
to
you
do
can
that,
just
yeah.
solder it that way. So I was
Yeah,
going
these are.
to-
These really are nice, and you can turn them in different angles. And lots of people use them when they're doing like a panel lamp or something, or once again, a candle. That kind of any kind of 3-dimensional stuff. These are really good.
So
Now what are you doing?
well, gonna
Trying to figure out.
try to
We're not going to tell you. We're not going to help you.
I'm just gonna watch.
great. They're just gonna watch me struggle through this, which is good because that's good for me. It's a very humbling experience for me to
Yeah, so that
do
counts.
this live.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to use this to help me out. And so what I'm going to do is come in, and I did sort of cheat. I don't know if you can see, I wrote on here A and A, so I know that I had to solder those 2 together, right? I was like, I didn't want to look like a total.
No, you know what I
fool.
actually did when I did mine for the first time, I think ever when I soldered, I put on one of those gloves.
You wore a glove.
That leather one, those.
Oh yeah, one of those.
Oh my gosh, because especially when you're doing the ring or you have to kind of hang on to it long enough for the solder to start to cool so it
Get
sets.
the extra hands to hold the ring.
It does get a little.
Well, I don't, those are, those things, is that what you mean? Those little
Clips.
paper clip things? Yeah, I don't, it takes me a while to get the angle. I don't know, I'm not crazy about it. But honestly, the glove was because this I can see happening.
So this is, I brought some solder. Come in here, my arms. So when I soldered these, especially this joint, I really just more of like a tack solder because I need a little flexibility in there. Because can't assume everything's square and everything's going to be a right angle, right? So grab some solder. I just need to tack solder these together. I know this is riveting stuff. Feel free to comment. If you either one of you.
About we're just
If you
mesmerized.
see me doing something wrong, you're like, that guy doesn't know what he's doing. But
You'll figure it out.
and then, so I've got that together. So now I have to attach this part to this part, right? So,
Yeah.
no.
This part too, you also need if you're
Like
just
this,
using
right?
yes.
Thank you very much.
If you're using just the copper foil like Roy did and not the came around it, once you get one of your angles set, you want to be careful because if you bend it too much, your foil will.
Yeah, this is pretty.
So how
yeah,
many
yeah.
L's do you need?
3.
There's
3. Okay.
And again, here I just need to get some. I just need a tack solder on so I can hold the whole thing together, and then I can worry about what it looks like afterwards.
I will say I made a paper version, so I had it in my head how it went together before I even
That was smart.
tried that.
Easy.
But I also had colors I had to match up. So
Yeah, I know. When I was making mine, I kept thinking I didn't really know how it was going to look, so I'm like, I should make the colors so they go a certain way. But then as I was putting it together, I'm like, I'm just going to try to get it together.
Right.
That's my only goal. Right. So there's that one, and then I got to come around and try to do this one. So once I get this, I think it should probably hold together pretty decently.
Nope.
Did I not do it right?
this needs to go that way. It bent too much.
You what?
It bent.
You lost your right angle.
Oh, this one goes here.
There you
Oh, my bad. You got it. Yeah, I know it's really.
Here, put that over there because you need to support something.
Support something. Let's do that. Good thinking.
You're going to rip your foil.
I gotta rip my foil.
It's going to be like fixing a broken piece.
I just went to spinner repair jobs.
Yeah, now it's this.
There we go.
There we go. Got it.
Ouch.
That was a little toasty.
Warm. A little bit warm.
All right.
I was like, dude, the glove's looking real good.
See?
I know.
What did I say?
So there. That's it. Now it's together. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Now I just gotta. Now I just gotta make it look nice. So
Well, yeah, you got to get it a little more stable.
Yeah, I gotta get it a little
It's
more stable than
only
this.
tacked. So
It is all
there. I
tacked,
think
so-
that way it sits pretty
yeah. So
stable.
I know we were.
Yeah.
We were showing this the other day. Right? So,
Yeah, that's the best way to.
So now I've just got to, like as Val says, I got to. Since it's just tacked, I got to add some more solder here, mainly just to get it to hold together, be a little stronger. I'm not so worried about how smooth it looks at this point, right? I'm just trying to really get some solder in here.
Yeah, I think that's true, right? You want to get those seams built in with some solder before you start trying to. Then you can level it out. But right now it's still a little.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's still a little vicarious because it's
It is
not.
a tiny bit.
Yeah. So this is quiet. So how's it going, Daisy?
It's going good.
You can't talk and do that.
I can't tell I'm sorry.
I don't get to watch Roy make things very often.
Oh, you don't get
so
to.
I'm-
I know, isn't that? It's super exciting.
But it is kind of like you said. The design is once you get to this part, you can see it does go pretty quick once you get it figured out.
And there's so many different combinations you can make.
Yeah.
That's to me, I think, is the fun part, right?
Right.
I mean, really, and they don't even have to be squares. I mean, we did a bunch of squares just because they were easy and for us to kind of get it together. But they don't have to be square. They just need to have some area that has a right angle. So, like again, as Val was mentioning, I think earlier you said there's like 6 squares, but if they're not squares, then there's 6 pieces, but they have to have, each one has to have a right angle somewhere on them, right? So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you could really kind of have fun with the pattern. Or, like I say, just within your 3-inch square, just mix it up. These are both 3-inch squares, so they're different, but they're the 3-inch squares are kind of easier to work with. I'd say to start out with one, that would be a good way. We thought about doing bigger, but man, I don't know.
Yeah, we thought
then they
about
get
doing
heavy, so.
I am working on another one that is a little bit different, so look out for that.
Yeah, stay tuned.
I have no idea how this is going to hang. So you can hang it from any point, right? So I mean, like whatever I decide to.
Exactly, wherever you want.
So is where
That looks like a
this
fun
one
snowflake.
here. So
Yeah.
I guess I didn't even realize that. I was thinking water was I was thinking in my head, so I was trying to do these different shades of blue, but.
Yeah, that works
Nice.
good.
And then, I would hang something here, use either the scroll, these kind of things to hang it, right? So I could solder a couple things along here, like Val did. I think it's probably a nice idea.
Yeah, and you could or you could just use them not necessarily as a hanger, but you could, use them decoratively, just to kind of give it a bit of interest or something.
Yep.
So, yeah, we didn't do this. I mean, this is the way you
I don't know
cut.
if you saw the design on mine is nothing super complicated, right? I used a 1.5-inch double bevel here, and then I cut these pieces with a 45-degree angle. You can see I had to cut this piece with a 45-degree angle, and I used the Beetle Bit cutting system to do that, just because I thought it was easier. I mean, it was a whole lot easier for me.
If you're doing those repetitive.
Yeah, if you're doing a bunch of cuts, and so I have it just kind of set up. This is really the mini Beetle Bit system, and I just had it set up so it's at a 45-degree angle, and you have to slide the glass under
To the stop.
I actually even put a stop there, so you could just, once
Rip
you cut
through a
your
bunch,
widths,
yeah.
you could just start cutting them through. So
You want me to do it?
Sure, if you want to do it.
I'm not
Go
sure
ahead.
like this.
You can do it either way. You gotta get up on top of the glass.
There. Oh, I didn't do it very good, but it'll cut. I should have gone to the end.
I know the 40. Here's one right here. I'm gonna try another one.
I'm going to try this one.
If you haven't used one before, it's a little tricky because you have to figure out.
So-
there's a cutting head. This is the nice thing about.
And
the
where
system
is it? I see it right
Yeah,
there.
it's right-
Okay.
Nope,
so
that's right. Yeah,
I see it.
you
Yeah, I see
Okay.
it. So do you usually draw towards you? Or?
I usually draw towards me because I go up towards the top and I feel it kind of run off, and then I know where the end is, and then I pull it back towards me. Yeah, that's how.
There we
There's
go.
no chance of it pushing your glass.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good idea. Yeah. There we go.
See?
There you
Nice. Yep.
go. Okay, well, here's for the scrap
right, so
pile.
you get a nice little 45, and then you got another 45 there, so all you have to do is then cut a straight one, and then it goes pretty quick, but nice cutting system if you're not familiar with it. Okay. Do we have anything else? We got questions? No questions? Wow.
Nothing has
Well,
come in.
if you have any questions, you can
Yeah.
always, make a comment in the video section below. You can send us a message on Facebook or Instagram. You can email Val at Facebook at DelphiGlass.com.
I actually just thought of something
Or Daisy.
that I think we might. When you do it this way,
Yeah.
with with the foil, then I wouldn't attach your hanger on the foil, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
you probably, if you're going to hang it
That's a
this
good
way,
point.
you probably want to try to construct something kind of like daisies that starts down here where you can start in the actual solder seam.
Yeah, that's a real good point.
Here,
You're not pulling it
down here. So, Kaylee, look. Well, just so people understand. I mean, start it down in here. So, remelt this seam a little bit with your anchored wire, then come up out this way, and then do whatever you want. Decoratively, come around and go in the other side, because this will definitely pull off
Yeah,
with
that's a
this
great
kind of
point.
weight.
Yeah,
so,
especially that way it
yeah.
will just pull it right off. So
okay,
Yeah.
that I think was
that was
good.
good. Yeah, so
I think that's it. I think we're done.
we're probably done.
Okay, you need to say it louder.
Oh, we're probably done.
Okay.
So,
Oh, it's over. It's over here. Okay.
sorry.
Sorry.
Well, thanks for joining us today, and thanks Daisy for.
Thanks,
for
Daisy.
joining.
Thanks,
Daisy
always.
works in the store here at the
Yeah.
Lansing Creativity Center, so and does lots of projects for us. In fact, I'm
Right.
sure, hopefully, I've mentioned her name before.
Oh,
and
we
I-
always
Yeah.
mention
and I know
because
she's
yeah.
been in.
She
Facebook
usually
Live.
always does do something for us.
She
So, yeah.
usually always does. Very creative.
made
And I
of
drag
two
her in
things.
sometimes. So, thanks for joining us, and well, I think we're coming back next week.
With a surprise.
With we're not 100% sure what we're doing, but that would be most days. But
But if you have
Well, it's gonna be a good
suggestions,
one.
yeah, have
if you
suggestions.
suggestions again. Just
let us
feel
know.
free to reach out to us.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep,
Okay,
thanks.
thanks.